Hey everybody, it's day 73 of Training Daily Excellence. My name is Brad Gieske, and today I'm going to tell you my story of player development. I'm going to tell you about what made me a special player, what it took to achieve different things in the sport, and then how that has made me the person that I am and the player that I became. So it all started a long time ago. I started playing soccer when I was 5 years old, and I really wasn't that into it. I tried to quit my first season, but wasn't meant to be in terms of ending my career there. So I was forced by my parents to complete the season and ended up really enjoying it. And so I learned my first life lesson and my first soccer lesson there, that do not give up on something in the middle. Do not give up on something until it's over. And so went on, I played in the CYC League with Assumption Grade School and played for the Vipers competitively and started guest playing for a lot of competitive teams too, but I was still playing basketball and baseball at the same time. So I had a lot going on, and soccer was one of my two favorite sports. I loved basketball, I loved soccer, and baseball was fun too, but wasn't one of my primary sports. And so it came time that I got into 8th grade, and I knew some older players that were very good. I knew Ashton Pickering, I knew Ryan Bauer, and they were players that inspired me to seek for more. They were players that every time I watched them, I was like, wow, I want to be able to do this, I want to be able to do that. And so I'd watch videos on the internet 1 to 2 hours a day, it felt like, and I would just be watching these different skills, and then I would go and try those skills out. And so it started very basic. It started with the rainbow, it started with just different skills that I had never seen before, different juggling skills. And in 8th grade I decided to do soccer tricks for the talent show, and I decided to do it to music. And so the first time I did it in front of the whole school, I did most of the skills very well. The ball did roll off the stage at some point, which was okay. You know, everybody makes mistakes. And then in the evening show, I did it again, and there were even less mistakes. And so it was something that was very empowering for me to see that this is something that people appreciate. This is a skill. This is something that people like, and I liked it as well. It was something that was very fun and at the same time very challenging for me to grow in. And so around this time, I started to really invest in sport. I was thinking about the future, and at this time I started aspiring to truly invest in being a professional player, at least a very high level player. So I started with a push-up routine, and I would do that every single morning. And this was on top of training skills every recess at school, and then sometimes after school as well. And every morning I would do, I think it was 100 push-ups. I would do 2 sets of 20, and then a set of maybe 10 to 15 on my knuckles, and then I would do a set of 50 straight through. And so it was really tough. Every morning I would work on that. Every morning I would wake up, and then I would kind of dread it, to be honest, but I would do it. And every morning I got a little bit stronger. And eventually I moved this to the nighttime, and I started to add crunches to this. And eventually, by the time I was a freshman in high school, this routine had developed into 1,200 different ab crunches of different sorts. So I'd work my upper abs for about 400 or 300 repetitions. I'd work each side of the obliques for another 300 repetitions each, and then I'd work my lower abdominals for another set of 300. So, and actually in the opposite order. So I would do the lower abs first, because your abs actually fatigue in that order: low abs to obliques, and then to upper abs. Your upper abs are the most fatigue resistant. So I do that every single day, and at this time I was getting more and more opportunities in soccer, while I was in high school, I really started to develop my freestyle. So you'll see a lot of Geeski freestyle videos on my YouTube channel, and check those out, because I mean, even as far back as my freshman year, I was producing those. My very earliest was from 8th grade, but that one's really hard to find. I'm not even sure I could find that one if I wanted. There is one from the summer going into my freshman year, I believe, with Ryan Bauer and Ashton Pickering, and that one's on a different website. It's called Raising the Bar. If you're ever looking for it, you might be able to Google search it and find it, Raising the Bar Geeski. But yeah, it was just, at this time I was really exploring what it meant to dedicate myself as an athlete to, or really as a human being, to something beyond myself, something that I really had to have faith in. And so it was something that I loved, something that I enjoyed. So it wasn't something that I could turn off. It's something that needed to happen. It had to happen, because the energy was there, the passion was there. So I'd watch Ronaldinho, I'd watch Cristiano Ronaldo, I'd watch Zlatan, and all I could think is, I want to do that. And then I would go and I would train it for hours. And while I was in high school, I also had a ball skills routine, and this grew from something that I would do for in the mornings during the summer with Ryan Bauer. He taught me how to do it for about an hour a day, and by the time I got to college, I was doing it for about 2 hours a day. So I was training all different types of skills. I'd go through some foundations with toe touches, progress those through. I would do progressions with TikToks, progress those through, all the skills that I could do from TikToks. I would do different types of swerves and flip-flaps, and I would do juggling, and I would do settling. And so I'd do all of my skills each day, and so I could retain those and I could use those when I needed them on the field. This made me a very creative player and made me a very capable player on doing all the things that I set out to do on the field. So the next phase of my development was trying out for the ODP program. So I tried out, I made the ODP program, and I was a starter for Missouri State's ODP. I was an outside back. That was the first time I played outside back, but I loved it. It was great. And so didn't get selected for the regional pool, but being selected for the state pool was great. It was a confidence builder. And this same year, I tried out for the professional development league team, the Lions. And Tony Glavin is the coach there, and he took a chance on me. He put me on the reserve squad when I was 17 years old, and this was another great time of development. And a funny side fact, how I was telling you about the push-ups I used to work on, I actually pulled off 112 push-ups in a 1-minute test on my tryout date. And so that's something I'm still super impressed by, the idea that I could even do that, because now it's no go on that. But after that, went on, played college soccer, and then more recently I've had chances to play all over the world. I've played in Iceland, in Hungary, I've played in Kenya, I've played in Brazil, I've played in Nicaragua, and so all of these things came because I had the focus, dedication, passion to commit myself to something, to take a chance on something. And so every day, players, you need to invest your energy. Take a chance. Who cares if it's all for nothing at the end? Take a chance to be great and put the time in now, because the earlier you put the time in, the more that will pay dividends later. It's an investment, a forward investment. That's what becoming a great player is. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, share. I'll have another video for you tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed my story.